I'm Andrea Camille from BSHM3B, and here's my reflection about the movie of the flood. Identify the crisis stages. Professor Morrison established that the storm and surge will reach the mouth of the Thames estuary at high tides. Despite the Met's office, forecasters' false belief that the storm will head into the Netherlands before the crisis, despite the fact that they have a barrier in place to keep the floodplain of much of greater by abnormally high tides and storm surge pouring up from the North Sea. The combined volume of water will overflow the Thames barrier, putting central London at risk. Professor Morrison also predicts a 4-meter high overtop. They started closing the barrier during the crisis and activated evacuation procedures. Before the predicted surge, millions of people must relocate to safe areas. As a result, Commissioner Nash and her colleagues are contacting the military to see if they can help them save lives. Number 2. Describe each crisis stage by answering that what, who, where, why, and how of each stage. Number 3. What is the worst thing happened and how it was addressed or solved? Responded. It's when the forecaster incorrectly predicts the storm will hit the Netherlands, but it instead hits the Thames estuary at high tide, putting central London in jeopardy. Professor Morrison answered by suggesting that the barrier be lowered to allow water to escape into the estuary. The water from the sluice gates will resist the surge, and the outgoing tide will return it to the estuary, reducing the flood. Number 4. What do you realize from the movie and relate into your role as a future HM manager? I've learned that making plans is essential to be done to avoid more serious issues. Always think about the situation in order to make a choice that will benefit the entire community. Prioritizing tasks is critical in order to reduce risk. As an HM manager, you must always consider the safety of your employees. A crisis management strategy can assist the entire business in knowing what to do in the event of the catastrophe. Employee training is also necessary, as in determining producer or methods to assist the organization in resolving the crisis.